You are watching Liberty Online TV.
This is Liberty Online TV powered by Orange Sierra Leone.
Orange.
Plenty things can happen at the country where the news can capture from politics, the economy, and other human interest issues them. Some of them issues here can dey inside different newspaper them during the week. This make Liberty Online Television. They bring you the Liberty Newspaper Review. Inside this program, we go bring analysts them for look at the most trending topic them inside the newspaper for the week and analyze them for make sense to the public. This go be every Friday, 12 o'clock afternoon on Liberty Television. Watch out for Liberty Newspaper Review. Plenty things can happen at the country where the news can capture from politics, the economy, and other human interest issues them. Some of them issues here can dey inside different newspaper them during the week. This make Liberty Online Television. They bring you the Liberty Newspaper Review. Inside this program, we go bring analysts them for look at the most trending topic them inside the newspaper for the week and analyze them for make sense to the public. This go be every Friday, 12 o'clock afternoon on Liberty Television. Watch out for Liberty Newspaper Review.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to another exclusive edition of the Liberty Newspaper Review. You can tell live now at Liberty Online Television, our Facebook, YouTube, and website, we're powered by Orange Sierra Leone. And don't forget this program, we of course they talk about the thing that we did at the front line of the newspaper review. And then today with me at the studio, I get the honor and privilege for introducing for the very first time Newspapper Moses, who happened for be the president for the Parliamentary Press Gallery. Of course, they do with me today in the studio for talk about seeing them waiting inside the front page of the newspaper. Good afternoon, welcome to the very first time now the review.
Good afternoon, David. Good afternoon, viewers, and I'm also happy for day again.
All right, that's now the voice of Newspapper Moses, the president for the Parliamentary Press Gallery. Of course, they do with me today at the program for review and analyze the front page of the newspaper. Then we'll get today now. Well, the very first newspaper I will take. Now the Expo Times newspaper, we say Agriculture Minister highlights recent gains of feed salon project. Away from the Expo, I get the exclusive newspaper, we say it is not over until it is over. Well, this is the exclusive. Away from the exclusive newspaper, I get the Night Watch newspaper, we say Bill will face justice, and Fatima Bill strike David Senge. Away from the Night Watch, I get the Awoko newspaper, we say PAC chairman pledged to recover Sierra Leone. Chairman pledged to recover 10 billions for President Bill. Away from the Awoko newspaper, I get the A to Z newspaper, we say PAC recover 50 billion new loans from tax evaders. And away from the A to Z newspaper, we get the Expo Times business newspaper, we say ACC probes into IPAM corruption allegations. And away from the Expo Times newspaper, we get the Bo Times newspaper. We cannot talk about peace and national cohesion if we don't believe in radical inclusion by Chief Minister. And away from this, the Bo Times newspaper, we get the Forum newspaper. When at the very last paper I will read for today, we say APC urge action to combat corruption in Sierra Leone. But these are some of the issues that we'll get today. Of course, look at Moses. We'll help you for review and analyze some of the issues them we get now the front page of the newspaper. Well, the very first one I will start with now this we say APC urge action to combat corruption in Sierra Leone. Benefactor you now the president for the Parliamentary Press Gallery. But then firstly, this now the headline of the newspaper, the Forum newspaper, we say APC urge action to combat corruption. Benefactor from where we get this commissioner, winner Francis Ben Kaikala, of course, he has been fighting against corruption in Sierra Leone. But then benefactor, there are challenges where they don't face, more especially we get for do with the referral of administrative cases, especially the one we get for do with Parentarawi and others in Parliament. You are in Parliament. Firstly, what's your take on that?
Okay, good afternoon once again. Yes, corruption. So whenever at times I get chance for talk on issues regarding corruption, you get to ask yourself, what's in a corruption? Corruption, it's actually a big word, but many a times people can misunderstand. Corruption, now where you dey give something with the intention to get something in return. Okay. And also, in fact, most time, not only you way they give, even the one way they receive, he or she is engaged in corruption. And so the issue regarding corruption, for example, it's something everybody knows, or literally some people know that corruption is killing Sierra Leone. There is corruption, I can tell you, now most aspects of the society. ACC, as per law, they have a responsibility to, one, investigate. Okay. Of course, generally they look at all corruption issues, but they have a mandate to investigate into alleged corruption issues or alleged corruption matters. So they investigate as an entity we're responsible for that. They also get a mandate to prosecute. Yeah, ACC gets a mandate to prosecute corruption charges. Na salon. ACC no get mandate for prosecute. They have a mandate only to prosecute. We will look at the dichotomy between the two, prosecute and persecute. Okay. Now, you also reference the aspects, of course, regarding Parliament.
Yeah, there are a lot of cases where then don't they investigate, but the public be the eager for know. Okay. What is the outcome of this investigation? For example, the case of the we will take, and the one we get for do it, the case of that's the clerk of parliament, Honorable Paran Tarawali. Of course, we meant to understand, say they come back to the public, they tell you say it is because of administrative action where they take, make their able and states Paran back in a parliament. Yes. And being the fact, you know that kind of person within a parliament where they analyze parliamentary issues. Yeah. What's your take? ATC reinstating Paran Tarawali back to parliament, and at the end of the day, they say it is because of the administrative action where they take, make their reinstate them back.
Okay, so early this year, Honorable Paran Tarawali was accused of some allegations against him. One of them get for do with abuse of office. Of course, we mean to say, a not use in office judiciously, employ in wife, Abibatu, according to the allegations. These were the two allegations against him. And that also, the allegation further say, he actually redundant or sack people there. These were all allegations against the clerk. Okay. So as per law, the Anti-Corruption Commission now then gets the power for looking into issues of such nature. Okay. So the issue, because of the public outcry at that time, ACC look into the issues. But then, as a way for sure say, particularly in that case, there were some seriousness in that issue. What did they do first? The president, as per section 82 of the 1991 Constitution, now they appoint the clerk of parliament. Right. And also he has a responsibility to also fire him. You understand? So when Paran was accused of that corruption charge day, the president or the executive, they suspend them for some period. And as far as the law concerned, once they suspend you as an official worker, they receive half of your salary. So for almost 6-7 months, Paran was receiving half salary. What him be the get, not to him be the get. So after the ACC be don't investigate, then pull the results out, or then pull them press release out, what did they say? They say the accusations against the clerk of parliament not be correct. Okay. However, the commission said that there were some issues regarding, of course, I remember the right word, but there were some administrative lapses, because some of the things in the way, as far as the ACC concerned, it will be noted down. but they were something that they're not able to consider. So because of that, there were also an administrative action against from the president. So after that particular thing happened, the president say, because of that minor thing, we come out from your side as the clerk, you not get for receive salary. So the clerk not be able to receive salary, a full salary for a period of 1 month after the press release was out from the ACC. So this shows that for that particular issue, there was a genuine fight. Yes, the ACC has to do more generally in the fight against corruption, because corruption is starving us. We are really backward as a nation because of corruption. I tell you something where the whole country or the whole community for it, one person can sit down and eat and all. And as a result, corruption is killing us as a nation. Corruption, we know the progress and we know the benefits anything as a nation.
All right, look at Moses. This now waiting the forum newspaper tell we. Say APC urge action for combat corruption as alone. And you can accept it to me say the APC party now the main opposition party.
Correct.
Yeah, in the country. Yeah, but then they urge proper action for like people combat corruption as alone. But then ACC taking administrative action, is it a gain or a minus or a plus for the ACC in general or holistically?
The ACC gets, like I say, in fact, that caption is saying APC urges action against corruption. To combat corruption. That is very important. In fact, as an opposition, that is your job. For just sit down no more, or for just say, I don't mix. You have a role. You have a duty to this country. You have representative. You are representative of Sierra Leone. For example, opposition parties in parliament, they have a mandate to make sure, say, the interests of Sierra Leoneans, then, particularly the one where they represent, come first. Okay. So, yes, in the fights everywhere, opposition is very crucial. In this case, APC, now the main opposition, people see them as government in waiting. So they have a responsibility for ensure that everything, they have a role for make sure, say, they hold this government to account, because then they represent people them. And the people of this country, they have belief, they get hope, they have trust in the APC for make sure, say, this country go as how it's supposed to go. So
from a journalistic point of view, how you able to rate the Anti-Corruption Commission in terms of corruption, in terms of combating corruption? Because you agree with me, say, just after the door, that appoints Ben Kaifala as the commissioner, of course, he made a lot of promises to Sierra Leone and that he will combat corruption, all sort of those praises it do against the anti-corruption. From a journalistic point of view, how you able to rate corruption as of now?
Okay. Since 2018, Ben Kaifala has been the commissioner.
Sure.
So much more has been done, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Of course, one of the things we Kaifala did that was extremely awesome, now we then be put down in teachers, and that was uncalled for, it was unprofessional, and in fact, it was an abuse of office by Ben Kaifala. Such things should not be coming, because the ACC law say, the ACC has a law, has a mandate to prosecute, but what they did was extreme persecution. Now, like what they do to Jesus, you don't do that, because first off, don't find the people that guilty it. Yeah. The law of this country say until a substantive law or court proves somebody guilty, that person is considered innocent. So that case, it was an extreme abuse of office. I sure say Ben Kaifala be don't learn. However, be don't learn. However, they don't do so much well, because the MCC scorecard says it all. The Sierra Leone for the past couple of years, they've been able to get an encouraging grade mark as far as the fight against corruption concerned. And of course, everybody almost aware about the fact that MCC gives Sierra Leone some money because of the fight against corruption. So holistically, David, and I am sure some progress have been made, but much more needs to be done by Ben Kaifala and the ACC, and of course by the government of Sierra Leone, President Bio, for do more for this country.
All right, away from the forum newspaper, next on our list we get the Agric Minister highlights recent gains of Faith Salon. And of course, you agree with me, say, during the intervention, the second term of His Excellency the Presidency office in 2023, when he take over, it always say he get 5 priority areas, and one of which he prioritized na Faith Salon. But then there are a lot of discrepancies when it comes to feeding salon. A lot of challenges don't they happen, more especially where you sort the views of people, they say, even though local produce them, what they do now, so they are very expensive in the market. But then, how you will rate this? Agriculture minister highlights the gains of feed salon.
Okay.
1 year down the line, as a journalist, you feel say the bill-led administration has done more gains when it comes to feed salon?
The feed salon project so far, it's terrible. It's not as how people did see them. Even the minister is saying there is gain and everything. I can tell you, David, as a country, we see most of the food that they eat, these are imported food.
Okay.
And this government is saying so many things about feed salon, but there is nothing literally to show. Because if common thing what they produce, when a pepper, what we're supposed to produce as a nation, we are unable to produce some of those things. If you're going to market, luckily sadly, in fact, some of those ministers or some of those parastatals, they don't even know how much some of the food things then cost in this country. Because they know they're going to market. They are being paid by the taxpayers' money from the consolidated fund, so they don't know the pain Sardianians are feeling. And so sometimes in a way, they can go sit down press conferences, minister of this, that, they come to talk about gains. It's kind of terrible because they don't know what's in the happen from the reality, because if they know, they will not be saying things. What are some of the gain? Gain no day at all, because if 1 year down the line, in fact, the president in speech the other day, I read it when he went to parliament, he spoke so much of things regarding feed salon. He talked about youth empowerment. He also talked about the issues regarding energy. That takes my mind to the fact that sometimes most of the things the way they talk, they are extremely far from the truth. So holistically, David, the agriculture or the feed salon project, for now, it's terrible. And I think so many efforts need to be put if governments want to succeed in that area.
According to you, the feed salon project is terrible.
Yeah.
You rightly mentioned. But then the question I want to pose to you, the fact say, well, is this SLPP government or the bill-led administration able to fulfill those promises we don't know they make to the people? Because the other day I was at the APC party, also they get a parliamentary press conference where they tell we say, the SLPP government at all able to feed salon, because they highlight a lot of things then we lacking in the project. Do you think the SLPP government will able to fulfill that part of the promise?
Well, as a Christian who have a belief we call I can't do spirit, I will answer yes, because the Bible says you can do everything. The only thing I think is lacking, we have a potential, Sierra Leone have potential to feed itself. President Bio or the government of Sierra Leone has a potential. There is a potential, in fact, it's visible to even the visually impaired that we will feed ourselves. Yeah. What we don't have is the ability to do things the right way. We get the resources, David. We are blessed more than all other countries. Most of the other countries, we have a fertile land. We get versatile land if you go to the interior parts of Sierra Leone. We are well located when it comes to even the agriculture. But you go to the interior parts there now, even the young boys youth people like us, where we forgo embark on agricultural activity. In fact, if agriculture projects has to be successful, everybody has a role to play. All of those lawmakers, most of them, if you ask them, they don't even get Yabas farm or Tamatis. They don't have nothing. You cross-check the ministers, they are talking about feed Sierra Leone or feed salon. They don't get even coconut farm. You understand? So if you really want to make sure, say, we are serious, everybody, I think Fatima is supposed to get a farm and few other people there. But if we want to feed ourselves, we have the chances. But let's make sure, say, waiting then they talk per paper, it's applicable, it's practicable, it's visible, it reflects in the life of people of this country.
That reminds me for the first 5 years in power when His Excellency the President take over. Of course, that was 2018. Yes, it always say one of the priority areas now well, field salon was not included, but if we get a project, we get for do with the Tomabon project. But then 5 years down the line or 6 years down the line, we never see no produce from Tomabon project. What's your take on the Tomabon project? Because if we aim for field salon, I think we need to go back and check from that Tomabon project and relate it to the field salon project we in priority areas. What's your take on that?
So the Tomabon project, it's for the past 5 years it was extremely in coma, and as I am talking to you, the coma don't go beyond. It's almost dead. The project is nowhere to be found. So this country, sometimes in the government come and go, I feel like they can be unserious about certain issues, because it's almost 5 years since independence. David, basic things and then we don't get them for we safe. We don't get water, we don't get proper education, we don't get good health, we don't feed we safe. We depend on things then for come from foreigners for make we able for take care of ourselves. So previous government come and go for Dr. How you call him, from all of the late people, like what's his name? Yes, all of those people come, and Escoma came, and now President Bio is here. So we are still unable to do some of those things. So these agriculture projects they talk about in 5 years, it's still not reflecting the lives of Sierra Leoneans. So it's kind of awesome.
So are they giving us false promises or what?
They are making claims, but they are unable to fulfill those promises, which is extremely bad. And they are taking the people of this country, I think, for granted.
So President Bio, of course, field salon are one of the projects. Of course, you made mention of a lot of things. Of course, that of the education, the health, and all of those things. Mm-hmm. And in the first 5 years, it's about health, of education, free quality education. And now we get agriculture in a field salon. Mm-hmm. President Bio in promises, ranging from the first 5 years till date, has he been able to fulfill all of those promises from the first 5 years, and this is the first years in the second term?
Well, sadly, for example, for some time when I am asked to give statistics of certain things, I feel like if I'm to play justice to myself, I rather prefer to be silent about it, because the president from 2018, I guess, when he came, he said so much of things then, cut across, so many things then, he don't talk up. I think there is a statistic result that speaks to some of the issues the way they don't talk about. But my problem is, what's my own issue is that some of the things I don't know what's the magic there, but some of the things we people can talk about, they reflect now the people then life them. So, for example, the president and few other people will say the distribution of electricity don't increase in Sierra Leone, and that was captured. In fact, the president said it don't expand access to electricity in Sierra Leone. That is what was captured in his speech. But if you look at the reality, perhaps those things are on paper, but it's no reflection. So I don't know what's really the problem. Which side will they get wrong? Yeah.
All right, away from that newspaper day, we come to the Night Watch newspaper where we say Bio will face justice, and Fatima Bio strike David Senge. This is Bio will face justice. This is from a civil society activist, but from a journalistic point of view, what's your take on Bio will face justice?
Well, I know I can't understand exactly Bio will face justice. The president has what they call he's free from any criminal or civil matter. He has a privilege. There is what we call presidential privilege. When you become president, the supreme head of state, you are free from so much of things. And so for Ninth Watch to say Bio will face justice, probably they know better what they are trying to say. But I will tell you that, yes, things when they happen where it may not be good for the people of this country. Okay. And I've always said it, Bio have a chance, President Bio has a chance to make sure, say, things the way don't happen wrong, he can correct it before he leaves power. Because as per law, the law say that presidents should serve not beyond 2 terms, whether consecutively or not, but he should not serve 2 terms, beyond 2 terms. And so if we are to go by that provision, it means that the president has another term. He has about 4 years to right any wrong, if there is any wrong at all. That's why it don't take place in this country.
Then you feel say is President Bio will amend in ways right in 4 years, because 6 years, well, according to people, they're not seeing nothing. So now 4 years they go see. They normally can pull story say that black go to Innocent Sante, you know go see an.
Well, 4 years
to go in 4 years they go do it?
No, definitely President Bio, I think he's a good president. So he can do more. He able to do them. He just need for, you know, me not near the presidency, but from the year saying he has got some people we disturbance. But at the end of the day, he takes responsibility of everything. If anything go well in this country, nobody not going to blame Minister of Energy or Minister of Agriculture or Minister of Education. He is the one on top, so he takes responsibility of all of those things. So yes, he can do it. There is nobody that cannot do anything in this world. As long as you get life, you get breath, you're able to do anything. So President Bio has all the potential to turn things from wrong to right.
In the 4 years?
Definitely.
All right, the big part they say of the Night Watch, Fatima Bio strike David Senga. And of course, we all key aware of the fact days ago we see news where they make around news, social media, we say Fatima Bio publicly attack the Chief Minister David Senge, or upon a going one to Kono, and he'll make a lot of statements. But then, as a journalist, do you think Madam Fatima gets the right for attack David Senge in that manner?
So personally, for me, social media stuff, I don't actually watch them, but I think what the president, what Fatima was saying, that for the party, because it seems there is some infight. You get most of the people there now the party where they focus on flag bearer, and I think the content of that video be they look to that. Some parts of the content they say, Fatima they say, let them allow a man. They say in focus now a man. Let a man rule. A man get 4 years, So David Senge is one of the people we Fatima or with that publication they literally point at, say they go so. So that is an issue. I think the party has to sit and get a round table conversation on it. If they feel to say, if the party thinks say some people then they go here and there regarding fighting for flag bearer, I think it's something that they really need to put aside, because at the end of the day, some of those people are ministers and others are decision makers. If they're not able to focus on the things that will matter, because at this junction, David, I don't think say any flag bearer race it's important. Sure. There are more things. There are so many things. The country is tough. People need for leave. At least they're able to provide for themselves, but these things are challenging. So the president, all of in boys them, in ministers and now all of the others then where they be now, they need to focus more. Let them put aside flag bearer. 2028 a far force, even though not far, but a far.
Yeah. Look, I sure say there are infights in the SLPP party, more especially for this flag bearership position. Yeah, but then the manner at which Madam First Lady attack Chief Minister, is it a right way of attacking? Because I believe say Madam First Lady is part of the SLPP party. You don't feel say if I don't do a more appropriately than the way it wants so.
So First Lady Fatima Bio, Mother Bio, for the past years, we Miss Abiam as First Lady, she is blunt sometimes. The way she talk, many people frown face at it. But I think she also has some positive parts of because she, even for example, when it comes to this issue regarding the fight against violence and women abuse, it can be so blunt, they compromise anything. So whether or not I see in content as an attack, that is a different topic of discussion. It will talk say, well, it may just be blunt. Others will see it as an attack. So by and large, I think if people should say things their mind, it should be done constructively.
All right, away from the Night Watch newspaper, then we come to the Bold Times newspaper. We say we cannot talk about peace and national cohesion if we don't believe in radical inclusion. These were the words of the Chief Minister during the town hall meeting where the Ministry of Information and Civic Education be organized days ago. This now some of his speech that we talk, radical inclusion. Of course, from where the SLPP government take power, we don't know about radical inclusion. But the question I want to put to you now that the SLPP government, are they inclusive?
Well, radical inclusion, I think I need to spend some time to understand that.
In the context at which the Chief Minister, they make this statement, because I was part of this this conference, the context at which he put her.
Okay.
Is this government inclusive?
So, the government should be inclusive only if, and I emphatically say if, for example, you have other people outside SLPP who are part of the government. If you have opposition members, for example, who are part of the government in strategic positions, then. So, for example, we already see what's his name. Alpha Khan is believed to be a member of the opposition, which is
he was a formal member of the opposition, I guess.
Okay, well, I already get that from you now.
He was part of the APC party.
So currently, whose idea?
But I think he's a member of the SLPP now.
Okay, you think, or you sure?
I'm sure he's a member of the SLPP.
Okay, I take an exception to that because I don't have facts regarding that, but I see that Dr. Khan, if he's APC, me no know. If he did APC, then the position we hold, the SLPP government, it shows that that can be considered as an inclusive governance, because inclusivity simply means that bring everybody on board, no matter the tribe, no matter the religion, no matter the region, no matter the color, no matter the party. No matter whose side the person they come on, whether the person they talk Mende, they talk Limbai, they talk Timini, Creole, Fula, and all of that. So inclusivity doesn't count that. It doesn't look to those things. So if you want to be inclusive, I think you should bring everybody on board, no matter if even you and the person not to party, but as long as the person is working in the interest of Sierra Leone, which I'm sure it is happening.
It's happening. So which means the SLPP government are inclusive. Because the other day, I be there na, of course, APC office where I was part of their press briefing where they tell where the Secretary General tell we say SLPP, they lawfully sack people where they allege say they are APC, they are members of the APC, so they sack them in our office. So with all of those challenges or with all of those concerns where they come up from the main opposition party, do you think this government is inclusive?
No, well, I have to see evidential evidence to show that some people was replaced or sacked because of she or he belongs to a particular party.
But you take them from a journalistic point of view. Based on what you see.
Now the same thing that they talk, David. I don't see that it. I need to see. Once I see that they are able to talk. For example, if there are evidence to show that Mr. A, it belongs to ABC or SLPP or AGC, but the government replaced them because of that, so I can be able to speak. But if I do not have evidence, for the fact, for as much as I'm here to speak on different issues, I also want to be guided as a media person so that I not talk anything that is not factual. Okay. I want to be guided. Yes.
All right. Away from the Bold Times newspaper, we get the exclusive newspaper where we say it is not over until it is over. Of course, this were the words of the flag bearer of the main opposition party, Dr. Samora. And of course, they say it is not over until it is over. firstly, let me analyze this. It is not over until it is over. What's your take on this particular exclusive front page?
So if you look at the literary meaning of that, it is not over until it's over. It's simply the saying that they have been fighting for something, and that the people of this country, that is his supporters, I mean Dr. Samuel Kamara, for patience until the whistle or the referee blow a whistle that it's over. So long that has not happened, according to him, they are still fighting. But I also want to speak regarding something. Of course, everybody know that there was this belief by most people that there is going to be a read-run elections. The tripartite report or committee looked into the electoral issues ranging from, I think, 2012, I can't remember, but they look into various electoral issues or electoral periods then. And the recommendations not actually speaks to anything regarding rerun elections, as most of the opposition or most of people then they put them. And so I think party leaders have a responsibility to talk with their party supporters, speaks to them, tell them the fact that as long as there is no judicial ruling that there is going to be elections, another elections, because as per law, if you want to challenge any election in Sierra Leone, you get for going at the High Court or you get for going to court. So in a situation where you are unable to go to High Court or to go to court, you just sit down and saying that there is going to be elections, I think it's also a disservice to the people of this country. So the opposition, for example, they get every opportunity for going to court and talk say no. This election results will give birth to the second term of President Bio. It's not credible. It's not factual. It's not transparent. You can go to court and challenge the results. And the court will look into the issue. And the courts prove and say it did. President Bio's second term election was not genuine. The court can now give a ruling for another elections. We saw it in the last parliament. 9 people or so, I can't remember the right figure, but 9 MPs actually, there were some issues that then people they need the election not be transparent. And so the court ruled that either one, those people be replaced, or another election to be conducted. One of the elections that were conducted has to do with constituency 110. Constituency 110 at that time will be a very popular constituency where involved Honorable Kadi Davis, and there was also another lady, Josephine Jackson, when I be SLPP. So we saw all of those things. So it is only the courts that give ruling for some of those things to happen. Anything other than that is void and null.
All right, I think the fight for electoral justice, na in someone they talk about, yeah. Okay. But then I just read a portion of paragraph na the exclusive, where we say the presidential candidate of the opposition All People's Congress APC party, Dr. Samuel Kamara, has recently informed his supporters that the fight for electoral justice will continue until it reaches its logical conclusion, adding that it is not over until it is over. And of course, we meant to understand, say, just after the election, there are a lot of, discrepancies will come up. We, of course, we are raised by the main opposition party, which I would say the election was not free, was not peaceful, was not incredible, in fact. But they failed for Ghana court. Yeah. But then just after that, then set up the tripartite committee. We get for do it. A lot of people we are part of that committee. For we get, I mean, we get to certain agreement. But then the tripartite results were over, were out. Of course, they handed it over to the president, His Excellency. And but there are a lot of concern again where the main opposition party there is, whether they tell we say, well, the agreement will be the, in that report, they no one work towards that. And now they did this agreement can come between the APC and the SLPP party or the government of Sierra Leone.
Yes, the tripartite report speaks to varieties of issues among them that for make sure say we get a formidable reform in the electoral sector that is country, so as to prevent all of the issues that will happen or will emerge particularly in 2023 election. So there is need for a formidable electoral reform na salon, so that we're not going to get all of them kind of things then in the country where they make the country they're going to get bad name outside. So it's kind of really bad. Yeah.
All right. So away from that, we get the Awoko newspaper, where we say PAC chairman pledged to recover 100 billion for president bill. As a journalist, you are in parliament and you know the parliamentary press gallery, you analyze on parliamentary issues. Is this possible for the public account chairman recover 100 billion for president's bill?
Yes, David. So Section 93 of the 1991 Constitution, they talk directly about parliamentary committees. And that provision, they say, Section 93, subsection 3 say, committees have the responsibility to look into issues that from MDAs. And so PAC, Public Accounts Committee, generally, is one of those parliamentary committees that actually look into issues then. And so standing under 70, also they talk about PAC. PAC, they look into expenditure, particularly of ministries, departments, and agencies. And so we already know that there is now a new chairman in the person of Honorable Ibrahim Tawakonte. He is the deputy speaker. As per law, so they talk say, anybody will be deputy speaker, automatically now they be the chairman of that committee. So Honorable Tawa is the deputy speaker, he's the chairman. He has done what many people have not done in the past as chairman or as chairpersons of that committee. So in fact, he don't even for generate billions of oliums as chairman of that committee. So Honorable Ibrahim Tawakonte, he has done well so far. I think he needs to be applauded for what he has done and what he is still doing as we are talking. Honorable Ibrahim Tawakonte and the whole of PAC, they are different regions then they look into issues then regarding expenditure and varieties of other issues when a PAC job. They are on it. And so the country for happy because he is doing that. Money is then way for be meant for the country, other people that they use them for their own benefit. And if he don't come as chairman of that committee for make sure say it generates or what's then call them money it gets that money then back from people them or from institutions them, from business people, from people then we know they pay tax and all that stuff. So he needs to be appreciated. He needs to be we need to appreciate him for that work we don't do. He is doing great job. He is doing great job. I must tell you. In fact, I didn't have parliament, and before they go now upline, so they come with different sectors. They come with NRA. They come with Ministry of Finance. They come with different anybody where they notice say you have some issues, and if you get issue now the audit report, they bring you on board. He's a fearless person. No matter who that you be, they count you, they question you. And I think these are some of the leaders, this kind of leaders now that we want as a country.
Yeah, you don't say a lot of good thing about the deputy, of course, Honorable Tawakonte. Yeah, but then this issue of recovering back, taxpayers' money would I get for pay areas to the state, is this not a political witch hunt?
No, it's not a political witch hunt because I will tell you most of them people then they say for then they collect their areas them. Now they young people then back. Okay. Now the ministries then. And now some of the agencies, some government agencies. So if it was going to be a political hunt, I'm just saying because yes, people may consider it that way, which I don't have control over. But I will tell you, say most of what me don't see now government officials them, where then they take them money then from where they not use them appropriately. So
make a link this again to that of the ACC. Well, is it that ACC they fail for doing their job because I think these are all corrupt practices of these ministries, department, and agency. Is it that the ACC not do their job well?
No, well, ACC has a role to play, and in fact, ACC, as per law, they are answerable to the PAC. The PAC big past ACC, far away. So they are not doing ACC job. PAC then get a young job where Section 93 give them to do, and also ACC baggage. So it's a two different job. ACC, they are doing well, but then PAC gets a responsibility for also do then work in there for ensure say if there is any issue, therefore make sure say they rectify the issues and for the people of this country.
Let's take the A to Z newspaper where say PAC recover 50 billion new loans for tax evaders. Is that true?
Well, I'm the worker at Parliament too. I'm not part of the secretariat.
Because in as much as the Tawa Conte is saying, Honorable Tawa is saying, it don't pledge for recover 100 billion loans, and they are saying the A to Z are saying it don't already recover 50 billion loans from tax evaders.
Yes, so perhaps the only catch in that story it should be 50 billion all loans. Okay. Yes, I think that is what, because 50 billion loans is a huge amount of money. Our loans have been redenominated. Okay. So, in fact, that should be, for the new loans now, it should be 50. Is it 50? I think they are referring to 50 million loans if they are referring to the current money. But PAC don't generate huge amounts of money, I must tell you that. Because I witnessed the hearing in Parliament, and me and the DS, me and the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, we see, we talk, and sometimes I appreciate him as a young person that you are doing well for the people of this country. So the money yes, there are some variants in different newspaper outlets. Say PAC don't generate this, it don't generate this. So which sometimes I can't speak to because as a journalist you get also a responsibility for clarify. If you don't say PAC don't generate so amount of money, you have a mandate to make sure say you check and cross-check for make sure say the figure is right so that you don't mislead people. But holistically, PAC don't do well more than every other PAC since when we begin reporting at Parliament.
A lot of some praise has been done for Honorable Tawa, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament. Yeah. So what's the what's different from Honorable Tawa and that of the previous Speaker? The Deputy Speaker.
David, I don't know the difference, but Honorable Tawa is doing well. The others were also doing well. Okay. But maybe a own target, because everybody, leadership is all about style. Everybody get their own style. So maybe a own style now for look into specific issues. The others as well, they get their own issue. In fact, the others then, when they raise issues, then they certain issues, then they, even PAC can do it now, okay. Then they push on to ACC. Issues and when they know say they are highly corrupt cases that they send out to the ACC because ACC as per law now therefore investigate and prosecute all corruption charges nasalo.
All right, so well away from the A to Z we get the Expo Times newspaper where we say ACC probe into IPAM corruption allegation. A lot of corruption allegations, well, against IPAM and all of those things. But as a journalist, what's your take on the corruption cases?
Yes, IPAM. I need to read that in there because I'm not too privy to it. But if the accusations against IPAM with a Nigeria entity or so, yep. If that is true, then that is it's extremely bad. So the ACC gets a role for play. You know, some of the things anyway media they write, but so it is the media they raise alarm or the public they raise alarm to some of those issues. So the ACC, Ben Kaifala and his team, they now have a responsibility for looking to these issues critically because that money, they are a huge amount of money where they can even use them for reformed IPAM, get a formidable and spacious campus, you know. So which is why the ACC has a role to play. Let them look into the issue and see how they can help in solving that particular issue for the people of this country.
So do you think, in your honest opinion, do you think the ACC they do justice to this country when it comes to corrupt practices, fighting corrupt cases?
No, the justice is arguable. It's a literary term. It depends. People can interpret it all that way. But I will tell you, the ACC, the MCC results card says it all. That the ACC, they're not able for... in fact, the ACC, don't also forget, they don't recover billions of liams. They submitted some of those receipts. And also the MCC card is saying that the ACC, Salon Day, I think 70 something. I can't remember the exact figure. So that money, that thing, they also make the country don't even forget some money where they, according to rumor or according to what they invest into the energy sector for make sure say people don't get light. But the energy sector is terrible at the moment.
You talk about MCC scorecard, of course, they hail the ACC. But then there's this saying that says, he who feels it knows it. We are Sierra Leoneans. Those people are not Sierra Leoneans. Yeah, they just see well on top of situation, but we know in depth of what's in the happen at the country. Yeah, but from a journalistic point of view, do you think ACC they do justice to this country when it comes to corrupt cases?
The ACC needs to do more. They are doing their best. Let them do more for the people of this country.
What do you think about the commissioner Ben Kaifala? Because there are a lot of accusations they don't raise a lot of accusations about them. More especially, they always get for do with with the bar situation, that of their elections, and all of those things.
Well, Ben Kaifala is an individual. He is a lawyer. He has practiced for quite some time. Okay. They call him to go and preside over the bar association elections. There was nothing wrong with it. Perhaps the only thing that may be wrong with it, if indeed with the people that they accuse or that they accuse him for, he indeed do it, because among the issues, then they say, they give an order for the people they not go count for votes, all of those things. But generally, they not do no wrong for go conduct bar association election, because he's also a member of the bar association. Now, lawyer. He's a member, and he not only go there, I think they voted him for him too, because it was a resolution by those who were present at that moment, so that then he go conduct or preside over the elections.
All right, viewers and listeners, if you just tune in, remember say the program where you listen and watch now the Liberty Newspaper Review, where you can to you live now the Liberty Online Television on Facebook, YouTube, and website where they powered by Orange Sierra Leone. And don't forget say the Liberty Newspaper Review, they review and analyze issues of the front page of the newspaper. And today with me at the studio, I get Lukule Moses, who happen for be the interim president for the Parliamentary Press Gallery. Of course, it don't with me today at the studio for analyze things them at the front page of the newspaper. And then remember say the Liberty Newspaper Review, they come to you every Friday from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And now so we go bring down the curtain for today's editions of the program. But before I go on for say plenty thank you to you if we take your time and watch the program, and plenty thank you to the engineer way now Emmanuel Campbell and Sao Musa Koma, and we'll produce our Prison Spears, and so meet again for another exclusive edition of the newspaper. I mean at the video and can say goodbye.
Plenty things can happen at the country where the news can capture from politics, the economy, and other human interest issues them. Some of them issues can they inside different newspaper them during the week. This make Liberty Online Television. They bring you the Liberty Newspaper Review. Inside this program, we go bring analysts them for look at the most trending topic them inside the newspaper for the week and analyze them for make sense to the public. This will be every Friday, 12 o'clock afternoon on Liberty Television. Watch out for Liberty Newspaper Review.